Most of all, I like the audience to actually feel that they're virtually part of the show. So, I mean, when they sing, I love it.
I remember being a kid and going to like sporting events and you would hear "We Will Rock You" and "We Are the Champions." And I'm not alone in that. I mean, they're a part of everyone's lives. These songs have kind of been sewn into our culture around the world, no matter where you're from.
I don't know how much Freddie realised it would be allied to sporting events and stuff.
See, I'm trying to sing it in my mind, because it sort of goes da 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 da.
I wanted to write a song that was very cold and calculated and kind of to the point. And basically it was a song of sort of participation. I wanted people to sort of participate. I wanted to write a song that everybody could sing along, like a football chant or things like that. And at the same time I thought it'd be nice to... it's a winning song, and it's meant for everybody.
And I think we were all just mildly shocked because it sounded so kind of arrogant.
Queen could come up with the title "We Are the Champions." I mean, where's the modesty gone?
Well, there isn't any. Oh, I'm a cold, heartless bugger. No, it has absolutely nothing. It's just pure commercial. Call it what you like.
A common misconception about the song is that it was written in 1977.
One of the best gigs we did on the last British tour was Bingley. We did an encore and went off, and instead of just keeping on clapping, they sang You'll Never Walk Alone to us, and we were completely knocked out and taken aback, and it was quite an emotional experience, really. This is probably fairly normal these days, but you have to understand in those days it didn't happen to rock groups. People sat there and they listened, or they stood and listened, or they banged their heads. They did not sing along to Led Zeppelin, It was an acknowledgement that our audience had become part of the show, and we could no longer just regard it as a one-way experience. We weren't just playing to an audience, they were interacting and changing what we were, so this was a way of embracing it.
But this was actually the inspiration for We Will Rock You, and because those two songs go hand in hand, it's often assumed that it was the origin for both songs.
Rock You Champions is my favourite, I would say, because I'm going to call that one song for now, because it was conceived almost as one song. Half of it was written by me, half of it was written by Freddie.
In reality, Freddie had written We Are the Champions several years before that.
I mean, I remember when I was writing Bohemian Rhapsody, I had a song called We're the Champions, but I just didn't feel that it fitted at the time, and I just sort of kept it aside, and it's virtually, I think, about 2 or 3 years later that I sort of, pulled it out the bag again, and there you are. So you can never tell.
So in an alternate timeline, the song could have ended up on the album A Night at the Opera. For me, We Are the Champions is kind of a sequel to In the Lap of the Gods Revisited, as it has a similar vibe with calm verses followed by a sing-along chorus.
It's so easy. I'm sort of learning a lot on Sheer Heart Attack. We're sort of doing a lot of things that was to come in future albums, or was to sort of be used on the future albums. Working out the kind of harmonies and things and the song structure. It's not true.
It used to be a sort of staunch pivot point of the show in the very early days, before we had such things as We Are the Champions to end the show with. The dry ice would come out and it would be In the Lap of the Gods.
I've paid my dues.
Freddie, We Are the Champions. I know you are, but tell us about We Are the Champions.
It's the most egotistical and arrogant song I've ever written.
Usually, the way I write it, I get the sort of melody first, because that's the most important. It comes easier to me anyway. I work out the melody, I work out the song structure, and then somehow the words fit in afterwards. Lyrically, I'm very bad, actually. I really have to work. I wish I had a Bernie Taupin, where somebody just screaming the lyrics. I hate lyrics.
On this draft version of the lyrics, we can see the brainstorming ideas Freddie had. Only a few lines were kept for the final version.
It only takes a moment's thought to realise that We Are the Champions doesn't just mean me and my pals, it means all of us.
There are various ways to interpret the lyrics. Personally, I think some of them refer to Queen's success following their breakthrough with Killer Queen.
I've had my share of sand kicked in my face, but I've come through.
And there was a kind of delicious arrogance to Freddie. And I think, if I'm truthful, I think, the very first meaning of it probably was that we were, damn right, we were dragged through all kinds of hell by people, but we would emerge victorious.
You brought me fame and fortune and everything that goes with it. I thank you all, but it's been no bed of roses.
It's my way of saying that that's like a lot of people think being a rock and roll star is kind of going to a studio, making a disc, and then going around spending all the money, which I don't think it is.
Well,
There's no bed of roses.
I find it intriguing then.
It's hard work.
There's been no bed of roses.
No pleasure cruise. No.
It could also be about the competition within the music business, which played an important part in keeping the band going.
I mean, there's ELO, there's ABBA, there's Rod Stewart. So, I mean, there's always competition, and we're never going to I'm never one for resting on my laurels, really, because I always know there's that competition, and that's what keeps us, keeps the driving force there. The whole industry needs something like that. Every now and again you get a new phase and then they get a bit too easygoing, and then somebody new comes in, and then everybody who's gone before says, oh, we better make sure. And I like that. It's good competition, and you need that. If you ask me what it's all about, I would say it is tongue-in-cheek, and it's not to be taken too seriously. I'm like, my God, I can't be serious.
No.
I like our songs to be escapism. It's got to be an escapism. It's like going to see a very good movie.
Basically, it is a participation thing. I've been very cold-blooded, and I'm just thinking in terms of how we're going to sort of adapt it on stage, and then how people are going to... It's a public stroke group thing, really.
Somebody better put your bag into your face. We will rock you.
Although the participation aspect is similar in We Will Rock You, the lyrics are very different, which we'll get to in a second. But before that, let's listen to the intro in this theme from Final Fantasy IX. It's probably a nod to We Will Rock You.
In my head, it was a song of sort of 3 ages of man. The first age is the boy who thinks he can change the world. The second stage is the man who thinks he is changing the world. And the third stage is the old man coming to terms with the fact that there's only a certain amount he can do. It's a bit like the serenity prayer, change what you can change, but get used to it that you can't achieve everything.
I think we should do it, but the whole thing of We Will Rock You is stating that this is a me.
Yeah.
There's no point saying we will rock you after we've rocked them all night long at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And We Will Rock You, I think in my head, was partly conceived as an opener anyway. I thought, wouldn't that be great just to start off with this very stark stamping and clapping, and it'll be like the audience is starting the show.
All my sort of playing is done by ear. I can't read music that well. It takes me a long while.
Well, how do you work out these amazing harmonies you do?
You just have to work at it, and after a while you sort of fall into a pattern and experience. I feel I'm getting better every year.
This harmony sheet written by Freddie Mercury again indicates that the song was written several years before it was actually released.
Something that we very often did, just work out all the nice harmonies on the piano, play them on the piano, we learn it, we sing it.
We are the champions. We are the champions. Ooh, we are the champions.
I need Brian's voice, or I need Roger's voice, and John's, to make that little delicacy that makes it a Queen sound.
We just, we argue a lot, we fight a lot, but then in the end, what really is the key feature is that we must come up with some product, some good stuff, so we know.
What is your attitude to life?
I don't know, actually at this point in time, I think it's just having a good time, to be honest, Before it was very serious, and I thought, this is the way a star behaves or whatever. Now I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. I want to do things my way, and I want to have fun. I don't really think about, my God, when I'm dead, are they going to remember me? I don't really think about it. It's up to them. When I'm dead, who cares? I don't.
I wish that for 5 minutes or 3 minutes, they're happy. They can then discard it like a tissue.
Or bring a smile on a sour face. That to me is worthwhile.
From Queen, thank you very much. Sayonara.
Well, I believe your PhD thesis, in fact, was practically completely written. What was the thesis on?
Interplanetary dust. Motion of dust between us and the sun.
Tell them about your zodiacal light.
It's called a zodiacal light, yes.
Oh, there you are.
Which is a sort of milky glow, which looks something like the Milky Way, but it's a cone of light which stretches up with the sun as a centre.
If you're interested in this topic as well, you can learn about electromagnetic spectrums thanks to Brilliant, the best way to learn in a fun and interactive way with thousands of lessons in science, maths, programming and AI. I really like the way Brilliant breaks down the lessons. It uses a first principles approach, which allows you to build understanding from the ground up. It's all crafted by award-winning teachers, researchers and professionals from MIT, Caltech, Microsoft, Google and other cool places. Brilliant recently launched loads of new content and data. It's perfect for learners of any level, like if you want to gain insights working with real-world data to train you to see trends, or if you want to learn how to parse and visualize massive datasets. If you're interested in seeing all the cool stuff that Brilliant has to offer, you can try it out completely for free for 30 days. Just go to brilliant.com/freeminutes or click the link in the description. This will give you 20% off the annual premium subscription. Thank you so much to Brilliant for sponsoring this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.